Hey, General Hospital fans. Oh my goodness, do we have a jam-packed casting news update for you today? And I am not even exaggerating when I say this one is absolutely loaded. We're talking about what is going on with Maxie Jones and the woman who plays her. We're talking about a brand new face stepping into the role of Serena Baldwin. We have got exits to cover, we have got new faces coming to Port Charles, and there is a lot of other movement happening behind the scenes that you need to know about. So buckle up, because this is a big one. Hit subscribe if you have not done that yet. Seriously, do it right now before we go any further, and then let's just get into all of it. Okay, so first things first, let's start with the recast news, because this is genuinely exciting for longtime General Hospital fans who have a soft spot for the Baldwins and the whole extended Lucy Coe orbit of characters. Serena Baldwin is coming back to Port Charles, and she is going to be played by a brand new actress. Now, if Serena has not been on your radar for a while, that is totally understandable, because it has been quite a long time. The last actress to hold that role was Carly Schrader, and she was in the part for a pretty solid run from 1997 all the way through 2003. She had years in that role, and she made it her own. But Carly will not be returning this time around, and honestly the reason why she is not coming back is one of the most genuinely impressive things I have heard in a long time. Carly Schrader left the entertainment industry entirely and joined the United States Army. She is an officer. She earned her airborne wings, and that is paratrooper training, by the way, which is absolutely no joke, and she has been posting content of herself doing full-on military training, shooting machine guns, doing all the things that real soldiers do. She went from a soap opera set in Hollywood to literally jumping out of planes and serving her country. Carly Schrader is a complete and total badass, and I have nothing but respect for that choice. So obviously, with Carly fully committed to her military career, General Hospital had no choice but to bring in someone new to carry the Serena Baldwin story forward. And the actress they landed is a really good get. General Hospital went out and signed soap veteran Kelly Kruger for the role of Serena, and if you have been watching daytime television for any stretch of time, you absolutely know who Kelly Kruger is. She spent a huge chunk of her career over at The Young and the Restless playing Mackenzie Browning on and off from 2002 all the way through 2019. That is a long and meaningful history with daytime television, and it means she already understands the pace, the storytelling rhythms, and the specific kind of emotional depth that soap opera acting demands. She is not coming in to learn on the job. She has been doing this for years, and she is very good at it. She has also done the holiday movie circuit, because honestly at this point, which soap star has not filmed a Christmas movie? It is practically a rite of passage in this industry. Kelly also had a fun little run over on The Bold and The Beautiful, playing a character named Eva for about a dozen episodes. And that gig was actually extra special for her personally, because it gave her the chance to work on screen with her then-husband, soap actor Darren Brooks, who fans of Bold and The Beautiful will recognize as Wyatt Spencer. Darren just made his return to that show recently, so both of them are staying very much in the daytime world, even though their marriage did not last. But the fact that they got to share that on-screen time together while they were still married is kind of a sweet little piece of soap history that I appreciate. So now that we know who is playing Serena, let's talk about the character herself for anyone who might need a refresher, because Serena has some really layered and emotional history in Port Charles that makes her return genuinely compelling. Scott Baldwin is Serena's biological father, Scotty, the lovable, chaotic, big-hearted attorney that we have all had a soft spot for over the years. And her biological mother was Dominique Stanton, who was one of those tragically beautiful characters that General Hospital did so well back in the day. Dominique was dying, and before she passed, she had one deeply profound wish. She wanted to leave her husband Scotty with a child, a piece of herself that would continue on after she was gone. And so Lucy Coe stepped up and served as Dominique's surrogate. Think about that for a second. Lucy Coe carried that baby. And after Dominique passed away, Lucy naturally and lovingly stepped into a maternal role in Serena's life, and she has maintained that connection all these years. Lucy and Scotty have always had their complicated, combustible, on-again, off-again dynamic, and Serena is a living thread that ties all of that beautiful, messy history together. And speaking of Scotty, can we please get Ken Schreiner back on screen? Because with Serena returning, it would be absolutely criminal not to bring her father back into the fold. I love me some Ken Schreiner, and a Scotty and Serena reunion would be such good television. But in the meantime, at least Serena has Lucy in her corner, and Lucy is very much alive and active in Port Charles right now, so that reunion is going to happen regardless. But here's the piece of Serena's return that I find the most compelling from a pure storytelling standpoint: her half-brother. Serena has a sibling she does not know about and has never met. His name is Cody Bell, and they share the same biological mother, Dominique. The difference is that Dominique made the heartbreaking decision to give Cody up for adoption when he was born because she wanted to protect him from her complicated circumstances. Cody is a few years older than Serena, and it was only relatively recently that he came to Port Charles, dug into the truth about his own origins, and discovered that Mac Scorpio is his biological father. Mac and Cody have been slowly and carefully building a genuine relationship since then, and it has been one of the more quietly touching ongoing stories on the show. So now imagine Cody finding out he has a sister. Imagine Serena finding out she has a brother. Two people who both lost their mother, who both grew up without that connection, suddenly discovering they have family they never knew existed. That is rich, emotional, soapy gold, and I really hope the writers dig into it because the potential there is enormous. As for the timeline, Kelly Kruger started taping her scenes as Serena on Monday, June 8th, and General Hospital fans can expect to see her make her official on-screen debut during July sweeps. Kelly herself said she is honored and excited to be stepping into the role, and based on everything we know about her work, I think she's going to bring a lot of warmth and substance to Serena. I am genuinely looking forward to this. Okay, now let's shift gears because we need to talk about Kirsten Storms and what is happening with Maxie Jones, because this situation is equal parts heartbreaking and completely understandable. So here are the facts. Kirsten has only appeared in 10 episodes as Maxie this entire year, and we are almost at the halfway point. 10 episodes. That is an almost non-existent presence for one of General Hospital's most beloved legacy characters. The last time we actually saw Kirsten on screen as Maxie was back on March 13th, and her absence has been very noticeable, especially right now with Ryan Paevey back and playing Nathan West's evil twin Cassius Bazin. A story like that practically demands Maxie be present because of her deep personal history with Nathan, and yet she has been nowhere to be found. Now, we had already reported here, before it was officially confirmed anywhere else, that Kirsten was going to be stepping back from the role. And the reasons are real and serious and deeply personal. First, there is the medical situation. Kirsten has been dealing with a brain aneurysm, which is terrifying on its own. The kind of news that stops everything and forces you to completely reprioritize your life. Her doctor has taken a wait-and-see approach rather than moving forward with an immediate procedure, which is a relief, but that kind of diagnosis hanging over your head changes things. It changes how you think about stress, about work, about what actually matters. On top of the health situation, Kirsten also made a major life change and relocated cross-country to Nashville. And the reason for that move is her daughter Harper. Kirsten's ex-husband Brandon Barish, who longtime GH fans will recognize as Johnny Zacra, is moving to Nashville as well, and Kirsten followed because she is not going to be far from her child. That is a mother making a clear statement about what her priorities are. And Nashville also puts her much closer to her best friend Emmy Ryland, who is based in St. Louis, so she has built something of a support system in that part of the country. But the real-life drama did not stop there, because Kirsten's personal life has genuinely been soap opera-level intense lately. She reported that her apartment was broken into, and as a result of that break-in, her phone was hacked. She actually shared security footage showing someone lingering outside her door in the middle of the night, which is honestly terrifying. And then came the news that blindsided a lot of fans. Brandon Barish filed a restraining order to limit Kirsten's access to their daughter Harper. That is a devastating thing for any parent to go through, and Kirsten has been open about processing it publicly. Kirsten has been very honest over the years about her mental health journey. She has spoken candidly with Maurice Bernard, Sonny Corinthos himself, on his State of Mind podcast about living with bipolar I disorder, and she's been a genuinely important voice for people who struggle with mental health challenges. So when she speaks about what she is going through, people listen and people care. And now Kirsten has spoken directly about where things stand with General Hospital and with Maxie. She said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, that given everything that has been happening in her life, She cannot say she feels comfortable heading back to Los Angeles and returning to work. She said this experience has opened her eyes to the real downsides that can come with her profession. And most powerfully, she said that her daughter is her entire life and always will be her first priority. When you read those words, there is really only one way to interpret them. Kirsten Storms is stepping away from playing Maxie Jones, at least for now, and possibly for the foreseeable future. And honestly, as much as that hurts to say, as a fan of hers and a fan of Maxie, I support it completely. Your health comes first. Your child comes first. Full stop. Kirsten is a genuinely gifted actress. Anyone who watched her on Days of Our Lives as Belle knows that, and those of us who watched Dirty Soap back in the day got to see a whole other side of her that was funny and real and deeply likable. She has given so much to this character and to this fan base over the years, and she deserves to take care of herself without any guilt about it. I really hope things settle down for her and that she finds some peace in Nashville. Whatever comes next for Kirsten, I am rooting for her. As for where this leaves Maxie on the canvas, General Hospital is going to have to figure something out, and fairly soon. Storyline needs are not going away. If Kirsten does not come back, there is going to have to be a recast conversation at some point. GH has used a fill-in actress for Maxie before, so that is certainly an option as a short-term fix while things get sorted out. But Maxie Jones is too central a character to stay off-screen indefinitely. Watch this space. Now let's get through the rest of the exits and the ins and outs, because there is still more to cover. Mark Lawson has departed from General Hospital, exiting the role of the murderous Pascal. That story wrapped up, and so did his time on the show. And then there is Christina Corinthos, and this one feels like it is really happening. Actress Kate Monsey is believed to have her final air date coming up this Friday, June 13th. Kate actually told fans to make sure they watch that day to find out what is in store for Christina's future, which pretty much confirms something significant is going down. And on the most recent episode, we saw Christina tell Lucas that she is leaving Port Charles in a matter of days, so the groundwork is being laid right there on screen. She still needs to have those conversations with Alexis and with Sunny. Both of those scenes are coming this week according to spoilers, and then it really does feel like Friday might be goodbye, at least for now. It has not been locked in officially yet, but all the signs are pointing in that direction. On the happier side of the ledger, Finola Hughes is back taping at General Hospital, and Anna Devane fans should be very happy because she has been back for a few weeks now, which means we should be seeing her on screen very soon. And then there is the big one. Steve Burton returned to the GH studio on Monday, June 2nd to start filming, which means Jason Morgan is coming back to our screens, and his first episodes should land right in the thick of July sweeps. However, and this is interesting, word from inside is that when we first see Jason back, he may not be in Port Charles right away. There is talk that his initial appearances could be set in Indonesia, where the WSB had dispatched him. It is a similar approach to how they handled Cameron Matheson's debut as Drew Kane, where we first saw Drew being held and tortured by Victor Cassadine and Peter August on a ship, if I am remembering correctly, and then later at some kind of remote location. The point is it was a slow build back into Port Charles rather than an immediate arrival. It sounds like they might be taking that same kind of approach with Jason's return, drawing it out a little to build anticipation. Which honestly is probably smart storytelling, even if we are all just going to be screaming for him to get back to Port Charles already. And there are two more exciting new additions coming that I want to make sure we highlight. First, there is a brand new male character arriving on the scene, and he's being played by Australian actor Dean Geyer, who is making his General Hospital debut in July. His character's name is Tristan Roberts, and if that name sounds familiar to you, it should, because it is a direct nod to Tristan Rogers, the beloved actor who has played Robert Scorpio for decades. Naming a new character after a daytime legend like that is a lovely tribute, and it already makes this newcomer feel like he belongs in the fabric of the show. The latest word is that Tristan Roberts may be coming in as a doctor, so there could be some interesting medical canvas dynamics ahead, especially given everything going on with Isaiah right now. And finally, we are getting a new Scout Kane. General Hospital is doing a recast and a significant age up for Drew's daughter. Scout was born on screen back in 2017, which would technically make her around 9 years old in real time. The previous actress who played her was already a little older than that, closer to 12, so they had already nudged the age up a bit. But now they are making a much bigger leap and aging Scout all the way up to 16 years old. Kaden Tokarski is stepping into the role, taking over from the previous child actress. Rapid aging is a classic soap move, and it opens up a whole world of teen storylines and family drama that just is not possible with a 9-year-old on screen. A teenage Scout withdrew back in Port Charles, and all of this chaos swirling around? There is a lot of story to be told there. Alright, that is everything we have got for this General Hospital casting update, and it was a lot. New Serena, Kirsten Storms stepping away, exits, debuts, Jason Morgan coming home. July is shaping up to be a really big month for GH, and we are going to be covering every single bit of it. Thank you so much for listening and for being part of this community. Make sure you are following us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio,